disruptive. That the content that we see on digital platforms it's completely challenged our existence.
Right. But what if theatrical becomes the exclusive privilege of a certain kind of film and a certain level of movie star?
I don't think that's true. You know, there was a Norway versus Mrs. Chatterjee that just came in. It was a small film with like Rani Mukherjee, who we all love, and the film has done decent numbers. You know, so let's not ignore the fact. The point is we need good cinema.
Sure.
I think that's what we are lacking. I feel like we have disappointed our audiences and we need to win their trust back. I don't think, you know, I feel like it's a wave, right? Before, like a couple of years ago, it can be a Bareli Ki Barfi or some of my films, the mid-section films that they didn't exist.
Yeah.
You know, we were again stuck between like, you know, I hate saying it, but like either you were a niche art house film or you were like this massive pot boiler. So that middle segment didn't exist. But then with good stories, with strong stories, with like talent with newer talent, we kind of recreated that segment. And I feel like that's exactly what's going to happen. We need good films. But Badhai though. For example, you know, we were the first film that came out after the lockdown on a 50% occupancy with no night shows, with Delhi completely shut. We did somewhere in the mid-20s. You know, at that point, we were like, oh my God, I don't know. But today, when I look at it at hindsight, there aren't the bigger pot boilers also that have done those numbers. So that kind of gave me the confidence that, no, if you have a good story, if you are true to what you're going to give your audiences, they will come in and watch it.
Right. So you're not worrying about numbers when you're reading a script. You're not worried about is this going to travel? Is this not? Is this going to go to streaming, straight to streaming?
Never, not at all. You know, like obviously the environment now is different. So, you know, the parameters of what we think, oh, will this happen? Will this go? But even back then, right, when my choices were different, I only went by the content and the material that excited me. And I feel the only way I will survive as an actor and I'll thrive as an actor is if I'm true to what I enjoy doing.
Sure. Well, you've also sort of walked the talk when it comes to, you know, what you do off screen, and you describe yourself as a climate warrior. That's something that you feel very strongly about and you put your strength behind. Can you talk about why that was important and sort of, you know, why climate became the cause that you needed to put your strength behind? I mean, was there a particular, was there something that triggered that? Was that something that there's been a lifelong sort of concern over?
Absolutely. So, you know, when I was a young adult, I had a lot of climate anxiety, you know, because I always had these questions, okay, what happens when all our natural resources are depleted? How will I survive? I love my family so much. Will I be able to protect them? And as an adult, I realized that, okay, I have these questions, but I'm not doing enough about it. You know, I would be in like rooms full of powerful people. This is like a couple of years ago. And every time I spoke about it, people would like shun me away or shush me and be like, oh, this is not a real problem. But with everything that we are going through, I think it's very clear that climate change is real. And that's why we started Climate Warrior, an advocacy platform about climate change. And we've done some immense work. And I feel like this is not my battle alone. You know, this is a battle that all of us need to join hands in, because I truly believe that climate change is the largest looming threat that humanity will ever face.
And do you feel like you've been able to reach out to, I mean, and first port of call is always one's own, you know, colleagues and stuff. But do you feel like your colleagues get it? Do you feel like this is something that, I mean, I don't think one can put the entire responsibility on your shoulders, but do you feel like enough people in your business care about the environment?
I think I have seen a change in the last few years, especially post the pandemic. You know, I think before that people were just ignorant and they're like, oh my God, no, some 3 generations later, this is going to affect us. But the truth is, it is affecting us today. Right now, we all can feel it. So I feel like I've seen a certain amount of shift in attitudes, and people are taking up responsibilities. Like, I know sets that are going completely sustainable. You know, fashion is going sustainable in many, many ways. Are we doing enough? Absolutely not. But has the change started? I would like to believe yes.
That's an encouraging sign, actually. I feel like we have time for maybe one question. And are we taking questions from the room? But I'll quickly. Bhumi, now, where do you see your? I mean, is there a direction for, you know, for anyone that's not an actor, you know, people like us in 9-to-5 jobs, or people who are not you know, who are not necessarily in a creative field? There are goals. You say, by in 3 years, I want to be able to buy a house. In 5 years, I want to buy an island, whatever. I mean, are you able to make goals for yourself in terms of where you want to go with, in what direction you want to go with your career? I don't actually mean sort of tangible monetary goals, but you know, this is the direction I want to be. I want to go in. I want to be known as the next Sridevi, the next. I don't know.
I mean, honestly, no, I don't. I've really thought about it as like, you know, I can't even, I have an idea of what my life needs to be like. And that idea was kind of, that vision came on to me when I was very, very young. And I'm just trying to fulfill every fragment of that vision. Now, whether that comes with me being a global star icon, or whether that comes with the work that I do, I don't know. I just want to live a fulfilled life, and I still can't pinpoint what gives me that satisfaction. So it's an everyday journey. So I literally have no 5-year plans, no 10-year plans. I just want to keep going. The only thing I want to be is I always want to be relevant. Right. I always want to be somebody who has an impact. I don't want to sound pompous, but I never wanted a normal life. You know, I'm asked this so often, don't you miss being normal? I'm like, no, I don't. Okay. This is all I ever wanted. I wanted people to know me for the work that I do. I wanted, as I said earlier, to be a good role model for many. And that's the life I'm living. And the day that's taken away from me, I think it'll be very tough for me to exist.
You mentioned global star. Is that a hope? Would you like to work outside? Would you like to?
Absolutely. Like, I would love to. I don't know when or how, at what stage of my career or life would that happen, but I feel like it will.
Okay. Well, all the best. If we have maybe 2 questions we can take from the room. If anyone has a question, you can raise your hand, and we will maybe pass the mic on to you. Yes. Seema there. If someone can pass the mic to Seema. Yeah, okay.
Sure. Lady Killer coming up, and then even Afwa, I think your recent. So how do you enjoy that genre, and how has the choice over the years changed?
I feel like, you know, over the years, I've been very lucky that I've had a lot of different kind of genres come my way. But as you are absolutely right, thriller is something that's very new to me. But it's fun, you know, it's honestly a lot of fun because you're always kind of walking on eggshells. And I feel when you're doing a thriller, there's no right or wrong way of doing something. So I'm enjoying it. I feel that there's a lot more that I've still not tapped into. But at the moment, yeah, I have a couple of thrillers that I'm really trying to be very tight-lipped. But
okay, thank you. And the lady next to Seema.
hello, ma'am.
I would love to know that any role or any kind of genre you find it very, very challenging for yourself, and you feel that it's very difficult, but I'm going to do it because you have a story.
I think action is something that I've still not tapped into. It would be very, I definitely want to do an action film because I feel like the work that I'll have to put in would be a lot more than just like my performance. You know, I'll get to learn a skill and like, you know, maybe really channelize the badass energy in me. So I think action would be a challenge, and a challenge enough for me to enjoy it. I love purist songs, you know. So, for example, Momo Ke Dhage is my all-time favorite. That's the kind of music I personally love listening to. But you know, being a millennial, being a hardcore Bollywood lover, I can't get enough of my Tamma Tamma and like, you know, Choli Ke Piche and, you know, all the fun that I do. You need to watch me at weddings. I'm nothing like this, poised and, you know, giving these answers. But I love Bollywood music.
Thank you. I'm told that's all the time we have. But Bhumi, thank you so much. Thank you for the choices that you make, because I feel like those are films that have given us food for thought. Those are films that have made us sort of change the way we look at certain things. I mean, film like Badai Do, film like Toilet. These are incredible films that I think people are going to remember for a long time to come. And you know, I told you earlier, I think that what Nasiruddin Shah said famously is that it's not the performances, it's not the box office of films you remember. You remember actors' choices, and you've made some incredible choices. Thank you so much, and more power to make more such interesting choices.
Thank you so much, Rajiv. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
डिमांडिंग हो गया तू अभी
Full power.
डिमांड हो हमेशा
He's in demand.
आप लोग ये साइड में सब लोग ये साइड आ जाओ चलो तुम बस 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 मैम लोग यहाँ पे मैं यहाँ पे भूमि जी यहाँ पे हम यहाँ पे राइट भूमि मैम यहाँ पे भूमि इकडे हम राईटला भूमि मैम राईट वो चेंज करा फोन मैम राईटला ब्यूटी होने वाला है मैम राइट भूमि मैम
चलो डन अभी हो गया
चलो बहुत गर्मी है
नहीं तो वैसा बन गया
चलो धन्यवाद.
थैंक यू सो मच
Thank you. Thank you.
आपके लेवल पे